What's up, guys? We are back once again, and we're finally going to be able to talk about Jurassic Park Camp Cretaceous. Now, with the entire season, now, more than likely, I don't know if this is going to be if we're going to be getting a fourth season. It's a little unsure right now, but it does tease with the ending of season 3 of what can happen in season 4. So if you guys have not been able to check it out, first off, go check it out. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and what was your thoughts about this season? Did you enjoy it? Was it okay? Was it just, blah? What was your thoughts? But overall, I will say I think this season was possibly maybe the best one of the season. There was a lot of character development in this season between Brooklyn, Kenji. Kenji, our boy Kenji, he really had a lot of character development, and even with Brooklyn, she had some character development. Even with Sammy, she had some character development, and also a little bit with Darius, not too much. Yaz, she had some character development as well. Now, when I say all that, when I say they all had character development, Yaz is finally, because at the very, well, not really all, at the very end of the season, but throughout this season, it was really known that they were going to be going their own separate ways at some point. That because of them finding the boat of the two ones that were there last season that got killed by the Raptors, that they found their boat, they had to fix it up, they had to make sure there was gas, they had to make sure they're of course keeping alive, but then they really find out later on that there's another hybrid dinosaur out there called the Scorpius Rex, which of course Dr. Wu created, and it was a mix, I think, between the raptor, the some type of a fish, as well as also a T-Rex. So it was even more of a hybrid than the Indominus Rex, from what I gathered. Now, this season, I think it was the best one. Because again, nobody really wanted to leave nobody behind. And when I say that, they tried leaving first on a raft, didn't work, and then they found the boat. And then of course Kenji, everyone, they're all trying to make sure that they're staying alive as well as everything. And we also see, like for example, Kenji actually starts to grow up a little more. And I'm going to go into each character here for a second. Kenji goes into more character because he gets more of a sort of a leader role, where Darius kind of starts saying like, "Oh, Captain," because he knows how to drive a yacht. And then we see one of the big apartments or homes that they owned on the island that they bring up, and then they also see where later on where Brooklyn gets kidnapped. Kenji actually does something that was really out of character for him because he was really worried about Brooklyn. Now, we do not know if we may see a relationship between these two. Don't know, because her getting taken by Dr. Wu when he returns onto the island to get the samples from the Scorpius Rex, which is really interesting because with him doing that. And then we also see, of course, Brooklyn being more understanding, more emotional, more to the point of, okay, look, it ain't always about me, I don't need to take over. So we had a little bit more of her development. Darius actually started going into the I would say almost less adventurer, more scientific approach, because he was wanting to know why these dinosaurs were acting this way on the island. Why were there others out of the habitat? Why were there other ones that were wanting to just kill or steal other territory that was in another territory, which would make no sense. So really, that was really going on in this one. Then we also got to see, of course, Yaz really accepting more people in her life, that just because that they are going to be leaving the island, that she can still consider them to be her best friends, obviously, with trying to stay alive, with trying to just keep positive, like, hey, we're going to get the island, we're going to get off the island, we're going to get off the island. And then they finally do. So, which, spoiler alert, but they do it at the very end of the season. Now, with Sammy, she really didn't have too much character development. I would say well, in a way she did. She kind of stood up for herself a lot more towards Brooklyn, saying that, look, this is about my family. If I find information about this company, then maybe I could still protect them, because she was so scared of going home that maybe that the company would either hurt her or her family. So obviously she was worried about that. Then we also see, of course, where Ben, he was so close to Bumpy that he did not want to let her go. He changed drastically. I think the main one that had the most character development was probably between Ben, Brooklyn, and Yaz, I would say. But all of them had their own character development. But I would even say that with Ben acknowledging that he's changed, he's not the same person anymore, and him now seeing that Bumpy's grown up, and then later on in the season we see where Bumpy joins her own herd, and then she's able to be protected by this herd with her being very young. He slowly realizes, hey, I can't protect her the way that this herd can. So he does want to stay, but then later on he changes his mind about, hey, look, I can't stay on this island alone because I may not make it and I don't want to be without my friends. And then we also see is really cool, and I could be wrong, so if you guys are enjoying this, help me out here. Was Blue in this season? I'm not 100% sure, so please help me out, because we see one raptor in this season, and to me it looked like Blue. It really did. I don't know if it is Blue. I could be wrong, but I think it was Blue. Again, I'm not entirely 100% sure, but if it was, it was. If it wasn't, it wasn't. But we do see where Darius actually starts to, I guess, try to do the same thing we saw with Chris Pratt's character in Jurassic World, where they infiltrate a raptor's den, and then later on, after trying to escape it, they help it from being eaten by copies. Then we see where they're getting attacked by not one, but two Scorpius Rexes, that the raptor remembers them and says, hey, we got to help them. So I thought that was pretty cool as well, to give them a sense of, hey, we got to help each other out. So it's like, I owe you for helping me, so I'm going to return the favor. And I thought that was pretty cool. And they even saved each other from a building being coming down. But at the very end of the season, we see where they were able to save Brooklyn from Wu and the last of the mercs. And when it happens, Kenji went on his own to try to save Brooklyn, and when he's able to do that and try to give the laptop to Wu, Darius did come up with a plan, but Kenji didn't like it, and we see this dividing between the group. We see where he even says that, unlike you, I'm not going to put my friends' lives in danger. So that was pretty interesting that Kenji would say that, because Kenji always came across as a very spoiled person. He, being very spoiled, very, like, entitled. And we saw, a big difference between Darius trying to be the leader, and unfortunately he's not always needed to be a leader. And then of course Yaz admitting that, Sam's her best friend, and seeing, this bend between him and Darius, saying, hey, look, I don't need you, but at the same time I need to figure out things by myself. And that's exactly what he did. But what's really interesting, again, at the very end of the season, is they're able to be on the yacht, they're trying to remember everything, and at the very end, when Darius is like, we made it, and as soon as he says that, we hear a growl in the door of the yacht. So I don't know if a raptor snuck on, a raptor that has been on there since the last attack on that yacht, or if it's the raptor that helped him, that's possibly Blue. Right now it's undecided of what's going to happen in this season, but again, a lot of things that I've been reading is going to set up for the third Jurassic World movie possibly. So it's going to be interesting to what's going to happen in a possible fourth season, or is this the end of it, or exactly what's going to happen. So again, I'm trying to remember where this timeline goes. If you guys know, please let me know down in the comments down below. But I enjoyed this season. I think it was very interesting. I think it was very entertaining. What was your thoughts about the season? Did you guys enjoy it? Again, was it okay? Was it normal? Was it just like an ordinary season? What were your thoughts about it? I'd like to know down in the comments down below. If you guys are new to the channel, consider subscribing, leave a big fat like on the video. If you guys enjoyed, click notifications. You guys are always notified. And also, let's have a great conversation about this season down in the comments down below. And I'll see you guys always on the next one.